might read both their sin and its punishment. If you don't bring the fruit, then there's a punishment that you are calling for. Christ gave us this truth, not to sit back on it, but to give it to others, so that we can win many to his kingdom. The fig tree showed what the Jewish people would be when the grace of God was removed from them. Refusing to impart blessing, they will no longer receive it. When you or I don't share, become selfish with the word of God, I'll be like that fig tree, which is showing the leaves green, but have nothing to help any person who is in need. People are there waiting for this word. Let us not just be sophisticated inside here, but outside there, we are like the fig tree who has nothing inside to give others. God has given us this truth, and we need to work to ensure that we do the work of God to bring many to Christ. If I want just to share with you one book again, that's the book of Hosea 13, Hosea 13 verse 9, sorry. Hosea 13 verse 9. Let me just look onto it. Hosea 13 verse 9. Okay, it says, this is showing us the consequences of not be a tree which yield the fruit. It reads, you are destroyed, O Jerusalem, because you are against me, against your helper. Remember in the temple, the Jerusalem city where Jesus was, and the Jews were against Jesus. They were questioning Jesus, and Jesus is their helper. Nobody can help us in the tribulation of this world, but it's only Christ who can help us. Nobody can help us in all our problems, but only Christ can do it. The Jews were against Christ, who is their helper. They were so blinded that they did not know that this is the person they need most. They were so negative that they were not ready to listen to Christ. And that's why in the book of Hosea, it says, you are destroyed, O Jerusalem, because you are against me, against your helper. The warning is for all time. Christ acted in cursing the tree, which his own power had created and stood stand as a warning to all churches. So the act that Jesus did on the tree is a warning to all people of this world. Is a warning to all the churches of this world. Is a warning to all the Christians. No one can live the law of God without ministering to others. But there are many who do not live out Christ's merciful and selfish life. Some who think themselves excellent Christian do not understand what constitutes service to God. They plan and study to please themselves. They act only in reference to self. It is we are finding that most of the time, sometimes we do them knowingly or unknowingly, that we work, we do most energy to make ourselves be better. But do we also make ourselves to be better to others who are waiting so that they can also be part and parcel of us? As Seventh-day Adventists, how much effort we are doing on this ground to be a fruit bearer? I know very well, as we are talking today, most of the church members are now out there doing planting to bear more fruits. And this is the mission that Christ has left for us, to go and make many fishers of men, and to go and make others to know Christ. And this is the selfless activities that God wants us as his children to do, so that we can bring many, we can win many souls, because we were not given to keep by ourselves, but we were given to give it to others. But there are Christ merciful themselves, they act only in reference to self. Those who thus live to self are like the fig tree, which made every pretension but was fruitless. We just remember how the fig tree, which was not supposed to bring the green leaf in that season, but